If you watched my last video, you'll know that my family's going through a bit of a difficult time at the moment. So I'm going to be taking a break till after the Christmas period. But before I do that, I want to take this opportunity just to share a couple of tips with you. So you may remain strong in your sobriety over what may be or will be a very difficult time of year for a lot of people. And hopefully these tips, particularly if you're in early sobriety, will help you get through this time of year. There's a lot of extra stresses and strains for families this year, particularly around the cost of living and money. You know, it's going to be a struggle. On top of everything else, it's going to be a struggle having a sort of normal Christmas, if you like, for many families this year. But it's extra hard if you're battling to remain. It might be your first year or your first Christmas sober. You might have only got sober like a month or 2 months ago. And you're dreading this time of year where there's Christmas parties and family parties where there's going to be alcohol. In some cases there may be drugs, all sorts of stuff that may trigger you, and you're sort of hanging on by the skin of your teeth, and you're feeling really nervous and anxious about getting through this time of year. So I just want to give you a couple of tips to reassure you that you can do this. And if you protect your sobriety, first of all, use this channel and other channels like it as a means of reference and support over the Christmas period. There's over 500 odd videos on this channel, and it's all my experiences, good and bad. And there's a few Christmases, because it's 5 years old now, the channel, thrown into this. And just use it as a resource. So subscribe and have a look at those. And just while I'm on that subject, if you'd like to support the channel, please click on the Ko-fi link in the description. I'd be so grateful if you could do that. And thanks to those who've done that already. Over Christmas, it's really important not to be a product of your environment. And I've said this before, make your environment a product of you. So if you know that certain people, certain places, that certain things are going to trigger you and ignite obsession and craving in you, then you need to avoid those places and those people. It's as simple as that. You may have to make some tough decisions over the Christmas period. If you're really anxious around going to a staff Christmas party because you know where that may lead you, particularly if you're feeling fairly fragile, don't go. You just have to be strong and don't go. It's a straightforward bit of advice and fairly obvious bit of advice, but it's quite difficult to do this stuff sometimes, just like it is to avoid certain people over this time of year that may cause an issue. And of course, if you're in your family environments, if you're shaky around having alcohol, for instance, in your house over this period, I'm hoping that your family and your relatives, from friends, anyone that might visit you, will understand that situation you're in. And the thing is to be totally open and honest about it, not to be ashamed of it, and to tell the truth. It's as simple as that. You don't want it in the house because, you're in your sobriety and you want to remain strong in it, and it'll be a distraction for you. You just have to be honest about it. And you have to make that environment a safe environment for you, your environment. Your family will thank you for it. The thing is, now, this Christmas in particular, I think for many families, it's not about the material stuff and the buying of expensive presents, because people just can't afford it. They'll be doing well to heat and light their houses over the Christmas period, some people, never mind presents. So we have to sort of step back to old values. And another thing that will keep you strong in your sobriety is to remember, and I know this sounds a bit corny, but it's fact. Remember what Christmas is and what it's about, and cherish that time you're spending with your family, where you're present and sober and not numb from the effects of an intoxicating substance. You know, you're noticing your children playing. You're spending time, quality time with them and with your family in what is a time of year that's about love and kindness. And remember those people who are lonely and on their own at Christmas. And if you want to spread a bit more kindness, visit them, have a chat with them, whatever it takes, just to spread a bit of love and kindness. It'll help people this Christmas. Is really important, and that's what it's all about. And if you're one of those people who's lonely out there, I mean, I know what I'll be doing this Christmas. I'll be going to meetings because I speak about AA. That's not for everybody, I know that. But there are a lot of groups, a lot of places, a lot of that you can join or go to get yourself out and about and make the effort. And that will really help you. Don't isolate. That's the thing about sobriety. When you start isolating, particularly at this time of year, it's a difficult time of year anyway. Perhaps you can't go and see your family for whatever reason. Then it's a downfall for you because you're in your own head, in your own thoughts, and they generally spiral downwards into negativity. Into a sort of self-pity, self-hatred sort of situation. And you don't want that, obviously. So you want to get out and about and talk to people. For me, it's to get to over the Christmas period as many of those meetings as possible. And I know that the support of that fellowship will keep me strong. And I keep talking, and remember what the Christmas period's all about. But protect your environment. Make it safe for yourself. And if you're going through some sort of cravings over Christmas or obsessions, then you have to distract yourself in whatever way it takes. And generally, I find the best way to do that is to move my body. Simple. Get out for a nice walk with your family, preferably. Move your body. Distract yourself. There's plenty you can distract yourself with. And distract yourself by playing with your children and playing games and Christmas games and doing whatever it takes. But you have to sort of ignore those feelings. You have to let them go past because they're only transient and they will pass. And if you're feeling any strong negative emotions like grief, sadness, lonely, all these things, worry, anxiety, remember that they're only moments that will pass. Some may take longer than others to pass, but they will pass and it will get better. And sometimes you just have to hang on and stay strong and talk to somebody. If you're really struggling, talk to somebody. Anyhow, I just want to take this opportunity to wish you all a loving and kind and happy Christmas. I wish the best for you this year. I thank you for all the support you've given me over this last year. And for those of you that have remained constant and loyal to the channel, I thank you. Much love to you all. Have a happy Christmas and a happy New Year. Thank you. Carpe diem. Seize the day. Bye-bye.